It was January 2nd of 1981. I'd gone out to the desert. We were going to do some dirt bike riding. And I hit a jump and got airborne. I had a full face mask helmet on, and I knew to tuck and roll. And I just happened to hit right on the top of my head. And so I was lying on the ground, and I couldn't move from my chest down.
Mike I met in 7th grade at Jefferson Intermediate School. That's when we just bonded because of our swimming.
Ron and I, of course, went to intermediate school together, and then we went to San Gabriel High School together. Ron committed very early to USC. The folks at SC offered me a scholarship. So it turned out now Ron and I are going to go to college together.
When Mike had his accident, I was sitting there with 5 drunk drivings. I knew I was in deep trouble, and I was feeling very depressed. Mike's accident really put everything I was going to have to go through in perspective. I'd learned I had the luckiest disease I could have because I had a choice, and Mike didn't have a choice.
The word came out that Mike was hurt. And it wasn't just he's hurt, it was he's paralyzed.
Went up to the hospital, and I was not the first, nor was I the last. I remember a lot of people I went to see Mike.
And there was this immediate reaction of, what can we do? How can we help?
It was maybe 5 or 6 weeks into my hospital stay that Ron Orr would come in and he said, you know what, we're going to do a swim-a-thon fundraiser.
He was laying there, and he'd just gotten all this news that he doesn't have any movement and all this kind of stuff. And I told him I was an alcoholic, and I can't drive for 3 more years, and you're going to have to drive me around, and we're going to do it with this fundraiser called Swim for Mike.
Mike, I want you to know that we are here to help this thing become one of the greatest things that's ever been done.
Here were people that I'd gone to grammar school, that I swam with in high school, my college swimming friends, my family. Everyone's swimming laps out there to raise money to help me in my recovery.
Somewhere along the morning, there started to be this chatter that maybe Mike would show up.
My physical therapist had said to me, would you like to attend the event? I said, yeah, let's try and do that.
About 11 o'clock, all of a sudden, this van pulls up and surprised us all. He still had his halo on and still no movement from the chest down.
Mike Neihold is here.
As they were wheeling him forward, there was a standing ovation in the crowd. It's like, he's here, and he is smiling, and there was a real sense of joy. But then when he started speaking, it became more than that.
I remember saying that, my dad was swimming laps for me and that I had planned to swim laps in the future, meaning I'm not going to let this hold me back.
I think that single moment was arguably the greatest moment in the history of the swim, because Mike committed himself, and he got us to commit to it.
It raised our sights, and it made us part of something bigger than ourselves.
You raised too much money.
Yeah.
It was just, what was
crazy.
it, 60s?
Yeah, $58,000.
$58,000, and we couldn't use that amount of money. So accidentally, I said, let's put it into a scholarship fund. And Ron put those two comments together, and all of a sudden, Swim for Mike turns into Swim with Mike. The following year was the first Swim with Mike, and I actually swam 200 lengths of the pool.
Yep.
And boy, was it hard. It was difficult.
Every year, it's more and more fulfilling, and it's really overwhelming, basically. I mean, each time I see the recipients come back who are alumni or who are current recipients and see that we've been able to grow each year, it's overwhelming to me. I mean, I can't put it into words. And I look at Mike each year and I say, Mike, we can't stop. We just got to keep doing it.
The people you're benefiting, they've gotten hurt and they've lost their ability to walk, and
You don't want to go on living sometimes.
No.
It really motivates you to keep
But what
going.
we've learned is that education is the most important thing for their self-esteem, their independence, because it's not something that their family can do for them. They have to do it themselves. They have to go to school, and they have to learn, and they have to figure out, okay, what can I do?
Losing my physical functioning sent me in a tailspin. The scholarship provided me with the beginning of some direction for my life.
It has opened so many doors and allowed people with adversity and injuries to be able to try to live as normal of a life and try to build a future for themselves.
The Swim with Mike story began as a community of people who cared, a community of people who showed me that there was hope.